So let's jump over and let's talk about the New England Patriots and the Kansas City Chiefs. So definitely one of the more interesting games on the week. I'm actually really surprised to see that Las Vegas has the Chiefs winning this one by 7. I know the Chiefs are going to be heavy favorites at pretty much every game they play, but the Patriots should be able to play them pretty tough. We saw the Patriots give up a lot of points to the Seahawks, but other than that, their defense has been pretty strong, whereas the Chiefs defense has also been pretty strong. We see, they have been able to give up the second least points to fantasy wide receivers. So I know that might cause you to have a little bit of pause here, but I think there's going to be enough scoring that defenses won't matter as much in this one. It should be a high scoring affair. 53 over under on the week, one of the higher ones. And like I said, Chiefs favored to win this one by 7, giving them an applied point total of 30. Of course, you're going to be starting all your Chiefs in this one. That is easy. You're always going to start Mahomes, regardless of the matchup. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce. You don't need me to tell you to start those guys. The real question is, are you going to be starting a guy like Sammy Watkins or Mecole Hardman? We saw Sammy Watkins have a down game on Monday night, whereas Mecole Hardman went off for that touchdown, but he's still playing a very low snap percentage share here, and he's still playing behind Demarcus Robinson in terms of number of routes run. So I think Mecole Hardman is going to be one of those guys that you'll be banging your head against the wall, trying to chase points. If you're trying to throw him back out there again this week, be prepared for him to potentially put up a dud. If I had to pivot to another option here, it would be Watkins over Hardman, but I would hopefully you guys don't have to start either of them. The Chiefs defense is, I guess, interesting in this one because they have been pretty good for fantasy, but against the Patriots, I'm expecting the Patriots to put up a pretty good fight here. So I'm not going to be throwing the Chiefs defense out there unless I have to. And we're not going to play any of the other running back options here. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the guy. He's going to remain the guy going forward. Jumping over to the Patriots side, though, Cam Newton had a bit of a down week against the Raiders last week, but he's not going to have the privilege of being able to do that again. We saw him perform really well in a tough matchup against the Seahawks in week 2. Look for another matchup like that here. And although the Chiefs have been good at shutting down fantasy wide receivers, Edelman is going to have a good game. He's going to bounce back. If Newton has to throw the ball a lot more, he's going to go to Edelman a lot. The real question is, can you start N'Keal Harry? N'Keal Harry has put up some decent fantasy numbers, but he hasn't looked good from a football perspective. So at some point, you have to imagine that they're going to pivot to other options, especially in the run game. They get James White back this week, so that muddies the backfield a little bit, and they may even be able to activate Damian Harris as well, making this backfield even more of a headache. So if you had to start one, I know Burkhead had 2 good weeks in a row, but with James White coming back, it makes it really hard to trust either of these guys. I have White ranked just ahead of Burkhead, so if you had to choose between those two, I'd probably still go with White. But if you're in a pinch and you need to start Burkhead, I won't talk you out of it. Sony Michel, to me, is an absolute bench in this one. Based on the way the Chiefs just played against the Ravens, I'm expecting them to put up a lot of points early, basically taking the breath out of the run game for the Patriots. They're going to have to throw if they want to win this game, which is why I'm confident in starting a guy like Edelman here. I don't think you can play the Patriots defense. You can't really ever play defense against the Chiefs if you want to have some fantasy points on your roster that day. So that being said, I do think the Chiefs will win this one, but I actually have the Patriots covering the spread there. I see the Chiefs winning this one in a tight game. I got the Chiefs 31 to the Patriots 28.